Hey everybody, it's Kyle here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today's video is going to be about my internal struggle with all the determination that I have and all the self-doubt. It's a lovely combination. It's not a combination that's unique to me, but I just thought it was important to speak about it. A lot of my determination comes from the fact that I have a disability, and the self-doubt also comes from the fact that I have a disability. Determination really stems from that desire to prove people wrong. I think a lot of times society in general has a stigma that because you're disabled that you will accomplish less and you will do less, and thus they expect less of you. That's not to say that I expect less of myself or that my parents or family or those that close to me have any lower expectations than they have of themselves. But I know in general that that is kind of out there, so I'm always wanting to show people what I can do and how far I can go, and that really comes, well, that just in general, everything in my life. Employment. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in sociology, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna get employed. It took me 2 years to find employment, and all that time there was that sense of, I'm not living up to my potential, and people, at least they never outwardly said it, but in my mind people were thinking that I was failing or that I wasn't capable of working, when I was just having a really hard time finding the right job for me. Thankfully I found that job thus far, at least my starting job, and seeing where it takes me. But I did get into a real funk when I would be out to dinner and we would run into people that we know, a group of friends and myself, and they would, oh, how's work going? And they would get to me, or even just servers at restaurants asking, like, oh, how's work going? Because where I live, it's a very small town, so we tend to know. But people would ask me, like, where do you work? And I'd have to say, oh, I don't, and they would just kind of be like, oh, when all the friends that I was there with had their jobs and that they were up to, and I didn't really have much going on. So I kind of felt, how are they judging me? That was the internal thing. And, I've always wanted to work full time. Like, that's always been, like, end goal. Eventually, hopefully, I will get there. But, people then had me doubting sometimes when I said that I wanted to work full time. Eventually, that, can you handle that? And that kind of stems back to some other video topic about people assuming what you can do. But, oh, I apologize. I want to try and work full time, but that self-doubt of, is my disability really going to prevent me from accomplishing what I want? And maybe it will. I hope that it doesn't. I'm, at this moment planning that it's not going to, and I will eventually work towards a, full-time job. We'll see how it goes. Another big area, excuse me again, that the self-doubt, well, the determination and self-doubt kind of go hand in hand. Driving. I had to go through an evaluation back in high school to see if I could take driver's ed. And all of my friends that have cerebral palsy or some form of disability, they had to take the same evaluation, and they all passed. And everyone kept telling me, oh, Kyle, you're going to pass, you're going to pass, you're going to pass. Like, no big deal, no big deal. Well, that kind of gave me cocky attitude or a big ego, or, I was just, I was so sure that I was going to pass. So I went in there thinking and assuming that I was going to pass. Well, I didn't pass. And that kind of put me in a real, real downer. And I'm on my third time getting my permit, and this time is going rather well compared to the others. The first two times, well, the first time really completely didn't go anywhere. I was just too afraid that my disability would prevent me from being a safe driver. I didn't want to get into an accident or hurt anyone. It wasn't really that I would get in an accident myself. It was that I would somehow cause someone else some sort of pain. And in my head, it goes to like the worst case scenario. So the first time I did it, I didn't do it. I got my permit after taking another driver's ed course, and I just didn't use it. Then a couple more years went by, and I actually tried this. I was going to community college at the time, and I would drive home from community college, and I was actually trying, but then again the self-doubt creeped in on, you know, if I was really capable and ready to do this. But also people were, you know, telling me, yes you can, yes you can. And so I was trying to believe them, and it didn't really work. I mean, eventually I just gave up. I let that self-doubt creep in enough to where I couldn't or wouldn't drive. And then, well, back in May, I got my permit again. And this time, I'm really, really trying to get things this time to work out. Even there are days when I'm shaking, and I tell myself breathe, and you know I'm doing, in the, you know, big picture thing, I'm doing rather well, and I hope to have my permit, well, have my license here in the near future. But there's definitely those days where that self-doubt tries to creep in, and you know I begin to doubt myself, and I really, you know, I have to fight back, and you know I really want this. This is something that I want and I can do, and I just have to, you know, get myself worked up that I can do it. And some days are good, some days are bad. Today was a good day and a bad day. Kind of mixed, but you know, we're getting there. And I just tell myself one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time, I get better. And, you know, hopefully, but I want to prove people wrong. And I'm not saying that people with disabilities drive all the time. Like, that's not new. But I just feel like, you know, by me not driving, people are like, oh, he can't drive, you know, going with that assuming and the stigma of, oh, you're disabled, you can't drive. I want to show them wrong, because I'm really determined to do it, but then my disability, or my mind about my disability, like, can I do this? Can I do this? It's really a waging battle. But right now I'm winning the battle between the determination and the self-doubt. And I know determination and self-doubt is relatable to everyone, so I would really hope and like to start a conversation in the comments, whether it be here or on Facebook or wherever this video finds you. But I really hope to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep trying and keep going and eventually get my license. But I just wanted to have an open, honest discussion about it. I apologize for the coughing. I just can't seem to get over this cough. I apologize for the lighting, but I want to keep it cool in here, so that's why I'm sitting by the window. But if you have any tips on how to deal with the anxiety, I'm trying to do meditation. Meditation does seem to work. Music helps me. But if you have any other, you know, alternatives or things that you do to help deal with that self-doubt, I give my self-motivational, like, you know, pep yourself up in the morning. And support really does help. My family really wants me to drive, and that's some days I just have to talk about. You know, it's getting really hard, whether it be about driving or just anything I'm doubting myself on. My job, even some days it's like, am I cut out for this? I mean, I love where I'm at, and I love the people. There are just some days where, you know, I had to battle that, like, I am good. They chose me, you know. But so support system is always a good thing to talk it out. And this is kind of a little therapy in itself, talking to you guys. Not that I don't know most of you, but it's still somewhat therapeutic to just kind of hear the words and the thoughts spoken out loud. But we're going to put into the universe that I'm going to get my license here in the next couple of months. I don't know how long. I don't want to put any, but relatively soon. But okay, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If sounds like I'm rambling, I'm sorry. Again, I don't really plan these videos. They just kind of come from the heart, and that's what I just really want them to be honest. So I'm sorry for the shaky quality, and I could try to edit these, but I just want them to be as real and honest as possible. But I hope you're enjoying them, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.